Hello, welcome back. I'm Gabs. This is the Inkbunnie, and it's now April, which means it's time for the Lady Solvers Readathon. I do this every year. I choose 5-6 books, and normally there are prompts, but I'm kind of coming in close to the gun this year, so no prompts. The gist is for you to read murder mysteries, thrillers that have a female detective in them. I generally do it in April because April is Nancy Drew's birthday and we want to celebrate her, right? So I have a little list of the books that I want to read for this month's Lady Solvers Readathon, and if you would like to join me, feel free. So I have about 6 books that I'm going to be reading for this year's Lady Solverathon. So let's get into it. Of course, I would be remiss if we didn't start with the Lady of the Hour, Nancy Drew. I always take time to read a couple case files during the year. Normally it is in April when I do the Lady Readathon, Lady Solvers Readathon, but sometimes I just want to read her, you know what I mean? So these are the 3 that I chose, case files 10, 11, and 12. 10 is called Buried Secrets, and Nancy tackles a 30-year-old mystery that explodes into front page news. I love when cold cases become hot again, so that's right up my alley. Then we'll read 11, which is Heart of Danger. Nancy is on the trail of a dangerous kidnapper deep in the heart of Texas. And then we'll read 12, which is Fatal Ransom. And when a teenage heir disappears, Nancy finds that family feuds can get vicious. There are 3 arcs on our Lady Solvers list. Only 2 pertain to Lady Solvers, but one's got to get done, so she's sliding in there anyway. And it's a female author, so I still think that fits. Our first arc will be Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. This will be the second novel that I've read from this author and the second arc that I've gotten from this author. And essentially it is a Gothic dual timeline novel of ghosts, haunting, and redemption. So I didn't need much more. It's like a horror novel interwoven with Japanese mythology. I do not believe it has a female lead though, so I'm just going to count it because it has a female author. And then I'm also going to read How to Cheat Your Own Death by Kristen Perrin, and that is the 3rd novel in the Castle Knoll Files series, and it is also the 3rd arc that I've received from Miss Perrin. So all 3 of the books in the novel I've gotten as arcs, and I've read them and loved them. So this is our 3rd one. And this one has dual timelines, which I love. And essentially it says, from the gritty streets of 1960s Soho to the lofty galleries of present-day West London, 2 interlocking mysteries decades apart unfold in this latest installment in the award-winning New York Times best-selling Castle Knoll Murder Mystery series. So I'm very, very excited. This is book 3. So I'll be reading that because we have a female lead, female detective, and a female writer. And then Library After Dark by Ande Pliego. And this is the 2nd Pliego novel that I've received from NetGalley. So I feel very, very proud. And in this one, it states, a bookseller must escape the infamously haunted library that holds her darkest secrets. But with a murderer in her tour group, escaping alive is not as simple as it seems. In this twisty, locked room thriller from best-selling author of You Are Fatally Invited. So the last book on our list is the 2nd in the Inheritance Games series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's called The Hawthorne Legacy. I decided to slide that guy in there because I was like, oh, I can do a series, get a book off my TBR, and it was readily available at the library. Little sneak peek, I have already started reading that. I am 14% into that already, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm having a blast. So that's probably going to be the first book finished, unless I switch over to a Nancy Drew. So these are all of the books that are on the Lady Solvers Readathon. I'm going to take all of April to read these. If I finish them before the end of April, then I'll find some more female-centric mysteries to read, but this is the game plan. If you'd like to join me, just use the hashtag Lady Solvers, and I'll follow your posts. If you do join me and you have a TBR, make sure you let me know. I'll leave it in the comment down below, or like Instagram comment, that we can talk about your books, because I love talking about books with people. I'm Gabs. This is the Inkbunnie, and I'll see you next time. Sleuth out.